kids streamed around Maddie, racing up to the big front doors painted in the school's colors, blue and yellow. Maddie took a deep breath, locked up her scooter, and entered. Maddie liked school well enough. She liked learning, she liked the science lab, and she even liked the cafeteria, even though the food was somehow always 25% wetter than it should be. But she didn't have her own group of friends here like she did in her life as a super spy. For starters, it wasn't easy to make new friends when she was hiding an enormous, very important, super secret. And also, she didn't like the same things as the other kids at her school. She had no real opinion about Chase Chance's latest music video, or why the fall musical would be Cats, again. The choral director, Ms. Tiverton, was obsessed. Or even whether gross Mr. Fullerton, whose false teeth were always falling out of his mouth, would finally retire. She'd much rather be lost in thought with an idea for a new invention, like how to attach a new feature to her tricked-out hyperphone, which was short for Hybrid Personalized Enhanced Reconstructible Phone, a replacement for the one that she'd lost in the Hudson River at the end of her first mission. Besides, she had friends. They were just all super spies like her. She wondered what Lexi, Caleb, Sephu, and Doug were up to right now. She hadn't seen them since their last mission several weeks ago, rescuing a man in Florida who had floated into the middle of the ocean in an inner tube and accidentally discovered a secret underwater Illuminati research lab. Lexi was in another state. Caleb traveled a lot with his jet-setting parents, and Sephu was in Egypt during the school year. The only one close by was Doug, but he attended a private school on the other side of the city, and his parents signed him up for so many activities: accordion lessons, soccer, pottery class, tap dancing, in the hopes of helping him make friends that he didn't have any time to actually see his friend Maddie. Though they'd all kept in touch with old-fashioned letters written in a secret code, Maddie wished she could hang out with the four of them in person again. Until her next mission, though, she'd just have to wait. After a quick trip to her locker, Maddie jogged to the classroom for her first period history class and slid into a desk in the front row. Mr. Onderdonk took attendance, and then Emily, who always volunteered for everything, passed out textbooks with an air of importance. "Good morning, students," said Mr. Onderdonk. "Good morning," the class answered, mostly enthusiastic, peppered with a few yawns and one loud burp. Probably Johnny, who was always burping, which somehow made him more popular rather than less. Maddie pulled out her notebook and pencil, ready to take notes. She had exactly 14 pencils with her that day, 9 in her backpack, 2 in her pockets, 1 behind each ear, and 1 in her hand, and she worried that maybe that wasn't enough. Her father had always told her to have something handy to write down her ideas before she forgot them, and her mother had had several pencils at hand all the time, poking through the messy bun she always wore. Maddie sighed, feeling a familiar heaviness in her chest. She missed them. She missed their advice, their encouragement, their hugs. Maddie couldn't believe that it had been almost 3 years since her parents went missing on a scientific expedition to the North Pole, meaning that Maddie had to go live with her cousins. Most people had assumed the worst. Even the company her parents had worked for sent a sympathy fruit basket. But a small part of Maddie still held out hope. She wished more than anything that they could have been the ones to kiss her goodbye that morning. That was why Maddie always carried extra pencils, and why she wanted to learn everything she could in school and outside of it, so that maybe someday she could use her knowledge and her Illuminati connections to figure out what had really happened to her family. "This semester," Mr. Onderdonk started, "we're going to study one of the most important, fascinating, and unusual historical figures. Someone who made a huge impact in art, but also in science. A painter, a vision..."